Well, first of all then, tell me about Blame It on the Bassline. It's quite a mega production for one single, isn't it?
What, the video or the record?
Well, both.
Well, the record actually wasn't a mega production at all. It was just one afternoon we were mucking about. It was originally going to be the B-side of the single, but it sort of took off a bit. But the video is quite a high budget one for me.
You've got quite a few well-known faces on there, from everything from everyone, even from Janice Long to Tom Watts to Matt Black from Cold Cut. So how did they all get involved?
Well, they're my showbiz pals, you know, now. A few of them, people like Tom Watt, I'd played football with in charity matches and things, so I sort of knew him. Basically, I just phoned a lot of people up that I'd known, that I'd met, you know, here and there and got on with, and sort of asked them, please, will you appear? In fact, out of all the people I asked, only one person couldn't do it, which is nice.
Who was that?
I'm not going to mention his name. It wasn't his fault, it was John Peel, actually. It was John Peel. He was busy that afternoon, poor John.
Did any of them actually have any input into the production?
No, and it was literally just, for the video, we wanted, because it's a quiz show, we needed sort of entrance in the quiz show, and we thought it would be nice to get a sort of celebrity panel. And so literally it's just, you know, I phoned all these people up and said, look, I'm making a video next week, will you come along? All you got to do is sort of be yourself on it. And I mean, it's dead kind of them all to turn up, really. Are
you pleased with the result?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I look pretty bald and ugly, but yeah, I mean, it's always difficult when you look at a video and you see how much money you've spent and think, well, could it have been better? Could we have done that a bit nicer? So it's like a record, you always sort of want to go back and have another go at it. But I think if you like it, then I like it.
Both musically and image-wise, it couldn't really be further removed from the House Martins, could it?
The who? Oh, the House Martins. I thought you weren't going to mention the House Martins. No, yeah, I suppose not. I suppose it's not really a change of direction for me, because for me, like, joining the House Martins was a change of direction because I was a DJ before, I was a nightclub DJ. And so basically I'm going back to what I did before and going back to dressing how I did before. Whereas, you see, when I joined the House Martins, they made me throw away all my fashionable clothes and they made me wear horrible cardigans.
It must be a great sense of relief to just be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it and not have to answer to anybody else, really.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, not that I didn't like the rest of the band and everything. We had a good time, but yeah, it is nice sort of being your own boss. And I was like, I've taken a year off basically and got to know my fiance and everything, and done other things, which is nice. Yeah, if you're a band, you have to, everything you do, you have to sort of ask the other band, will we be free? You know, will I not be working then? So it's good being your own boss.
You've spent, when you first split up, you spent quite a while DJing and mixing tracks for all sorts of people, but what made you want to put your own material out?
Well, I always wanted to. I didn't want to get straight back on the bandwagon of trying to sort of have hits or whatever. And so I kept my hand in by remixing and everything. Also, I didn't really like acid house. And if I wanted to make dance music, I would have had to make acid house because everything else was getting ignored. And I didn't want to do that, so I thought I'll wait until, you know, I can, you know, the music I make will be a bit more acceptable, rather than just sort of jump on a bandwagon, you know.
So what's it going to consist of? You've got an LP that's finished and coming out later this year.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of form is it going to take? Is it going to be a type of S-Express thing with different people, not S-Express as in comparing you, but having
Not that there's anything wrong with S-Express, by the way.
Guest vocalists and that
yeah, there's a lot of guests on it, basically because I'm not a particularly good singer, I'm not a particularly good bassist, I'm not particularly good at anything really. So, yeah, I sing on 3 tracks and Billy Bragg sings on the other side of this single. Wildski the rapper does 2 tracks on the album, and also a group called the Real Sounds of Africa, who are an African band that I've been working with. They do vocals on 2 tracks as well. So it is sort of, it's guests on the album, but it isn't just a sort of, you know, like out and out dance album. It's more a sort of weird, eclectic album than, you know, sort of go ahead dance stuff.
Who are you hoping is going to buy this? Do you think House Martin fans are going to go out and think, oh yes, I'll get that, and then think, hang on, what have we got here?
Well, I'd like to think that House Martin fans are broad-minded enough to accept sort of different sorts of music, and I think all the people we've met, 'cause I went to see the Beautiful South last week actually, and all these people came out and said, oh, I heard your single, I really liked it, which was nice because, you know, there isn't a lot of crossover between dance music and sort of intelligent pop or whatever it's called, and you know, I'm a bit worried that they'll sort of associate dance music with, you know, like went to a disco in Frisco and, you know, sort of meaningless lyrics and everything. But I don't know, I mean, I'm not aiming for any sort of particular people, I'm just making a record that I like, and whoever buys it, the more the better, then, you know, they're welcome to go and buy it.
What did you think of the Beautiful South when you went to see them?
I like them. I mean, it's interesting. I was worried that I'd go and it would be like the House Mountains without me and Stan, but it wasn't at all. They've changed, and Paul's gone even weirder than he was before, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What's Stan up to? Because he's the only one that hasn't sort of made a name for himself since.
Well, Stan got married last year and has 4 children now, by some miracle of nature. Now, he's had one of his own, and the lass he married had 3 kids already, so he's now a father. And he's basically been doing that for a year. It's quite a long job, raising 4 kids and having one of yourself. So he's been doing that, but he's getting back, he's doing some recording, he's doing some stuff with me at the moment. So watch out, Stan will be back soon.
Do you see much of the other lads at all?
Yeah, not as much as we could, because I live in Brighton and they still live in Hull, so we don't exactly bump into each other on the way to the shops. But I mean, we're still friends, and we still, when we go, we still go out with each other every now and then, have a drink.
But I imagine there'll be quite a reunion at your wedding. I suspect
the wedding.
they'll all be going.
Yep, they're all coming, and hopefully hopefully all the other celebs I've invited will come. Please come, please come. I'm getting married next week, by the way. Forgot to point that out. I'm getting married next week.
Seriously though, is it going to be a celebrity wedding?
No. Again, it was just people like Tom Watt that I'd known, and I sort of said to him, if you want to come along, it'd be nice. But no, mainly it's sort of friends and family and that. It's not sort of a Mandy Smith showbiz job.
So tell me a bit more about the LP then. Is it going to be? I mean, what sort of thing? Have you done all the writing on it, for instance? For it?
There's 3 cover versions, and there's a lot of like co-writing things where I've written with other people. I mean, the Billy Bragg track was mainly sort of Billy's, but I worked on it, and so that's like the 2 of us have written that. A lot of them I've sort of written them with other people or adapted other people's ideas, and there's a few that are just me, and then there's like 3 cover versions.
Just a moment. Can you tell Chris to shut up?
I'm not waffling too much, am I?
No, it's great. It's not my questions. Jerry, don't say that about our fellow colleagues, please. It might be a general opinion, but, Right. We've just been talking about... Yes, OK. All right. Are there going to be any sort of political issues on the album, though, or is it purely light-hearted stuff?
Oh, no, there's a lot of politics on the album. I mean, everything I do, I think, is sort of political, whether or not it's sort of out and out. Everything I do, like, Blame It on the Bassline, the lyrics are about the sort of politics of sampling and politics of dance music in general. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of, there's some veiled politics and there's some pretty out and out politics on the album. I mean, just the title, it's going to be called Let Them Eat Bingo, which you can work out for yourself, but it's, I don't know, after the House Mountains, I'm so set in my ideas about life and what's wrong with it that I don't think I could ever make music that would ignore it. There are a few songs that are about get on up and dance and dance to the drummer's beat, but there's also some songs that really if the meaning were known, they'd probably be banned, sort of thing.
And what are your main concerns then? My
main concerns are worldwide peace, equality and socialism, basically. I mean, equality is the main thing, basically. The whole country and the whole world is divided into rich and poor, and I don't think that's right. I think the rich should give up some of their riches and give them to the poor, so everyone. And I know sort of people criticise saying, well, you're a pop star, you've obviously got a nice house and everything, but I haven't got a particularly nice house. I've got a nice house, I've got a video at home. What I'd like to see is that everybody in the world had the chance to have a nice house and a video and a happy life, You didn't have super rich and super poor.
An increasing amount of musicians and people involved in the music industry, though, are readily sort of putting their names to issues like the green issue. What do you think about that? Very good.
I think it's always easy to be cynical about people's motives about getting involved in that sort of thing, but at least they're doing something. At least it's a step in the right direction. And whether it's sort of green politics or people like Red Wedge and things like that, whether I agree with absolutely everything they say, at least they've got up off their bottoms and done something, which is more than a lot of pop stars do. They sit there and they make the music and they take your money and they spend it. I think it's good that some musicians have a conscience about what they're doing.
It must be quite difficult, I would have thought, to combine dance music with politics, though, because you usually imagine the sort of political songs to be ones like the House Martins wrote and like your straight sort of songs, but dance music and politics, don't you think the messages will be lost there to people?
Quite possibly, yeah, and it is very difficult to write dancey songs that have a political message, but people have done it. Cold Cut and people like that can shove some really good stuff in. And yeah, it is like, I'm a big fan of rap music, and for a long time I was really disillusioned with the lyrical content of rap music, and I'm only now sort of more proud to be associated with that sort of music, because there's a lot of rap groups about that are saying something very intelligent. People like De La Soul and the Jungle Brothers and BDP and people like that really have got something to say, and I think that's good.
Yeah, and also rap is really getting a really high profile now.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, all the business about, you know, all the sort of sexist rubbish about it, and this obsession with gold chains and limousines sort of thing. Though I like the music, I used to listen to some of the songs and think, oh no. But there are, I mean, a lot of the rap music now is becoming trendy, if you want to do something sort of vaguely political or something with a message behind it. And again, you can question people's motives about why they're doing it, but at least they are. I mean, at least when people are dancing at a disco, they're not hearing, you know, I saw you across the, you know, dance floor, I thought I might take a chance on romance and all this, you know.
It was very much rap, though, tainted with a sort of violent image. Do you think that's dying down now, or do you not think it's still the case with LA rappers? And
well, I can't get worked up about violent images in the same way I get worked up about sexism or bad politics, really, because there is a lot of violence in this world, and sometimes I think, you know, you should look at the reasons for the violence rather than the fact, you know, if you look at black people in any sort of Western country, the reason why they're violent is not because it's sort of inbuilt in them, it's because they've had a rough time, and they tend to be the people at the bottom of the ladder who've got nothing to lose, and they look at everyone else who's rich and sort of think, my only way of getting this is violence. So, you know, whether it's that sort of music or whether it's football hooliganism, I think you should look at the reasons why those people are violent, not just say, oh, you know, like, they're violent, they should be locked up or whatever. I think they should be helped.
You were talking earlier about the fact that Blame It on the Bassline is about sampling. What are your thoughts on sampling, though? Because you've done it yourself on that, haven't you?
Well, my politics of sampling is that if you borrow someone's sound, it's like you're quoting off them or you're just borrowing it. Or in the case of Blame It on the Bassline, we're sort of openly saying, you know, we stole the bassline off Blame It on the Boogie. That's why we called it Blame It on the Bassline. Now, if you do that and credit the person and make sure they get paid, I think that's fair enough. But it's when you just nick someone else's idea and use it and don't credit them, maybe change one note out of their bassline or something like that, and pretend that you haven't stolen it. I think, yeah, it's the difference between borrowing something and stealing it. If you borrow something off someone and you give something back to them, then that's fair enough. But if you just sort of steal an idea off them, or you know, a fashion or something like that, basically, yeah, just nick someone else's idea, I think that's criminal.
Even so, a lot of records out at the moment are completely full, entirely consist of sampling. It must be very difficult to keep track of exactly what's been sampled from what, and very expensive to pay them as well.
Well, I mean, it really depends on what you do. If you nick one snare drum, I mean, is that really a crime? You know, you might as well have hit a snare drum. I mean, you could equally say that every time anyone plays a sort of 12-bar blues riff on a guitar, you've stolen it off whoever wrote it, you know, whatever blues singer first came up with that in the 50s. So you can borrow odd, you know, snatches in that, and basically probably even the person who'd made that noise in the first place wouldn't recognise it by the time you've tampered with it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head really by saying that Blame It on the Bassline is completely built out of samples. Now, if you completely just nicked everyone else's ideas and put them in one pot, it would sound like a mess. But if you just take little bits from here and there and put them together in something else and make it something else, then you've had your own input. So you've taken their ideas and taken them one stage further, rather than just sort of thought, oh, you know, that bass line's a bit popular, I'll have that one, you know.
So where do you draw the line?
I don't know. You just sort of think. I sort of think, what would the artist I've sampled have to say if they ever heard this? And if I think they'd think, you know, oh, I've been sampled, I'm quite flattered, then I'd probably leave it, you know, if it was just the odd bit. But if it was like something I'd nicked that was quite a large chunk, then I get in touch with them. That's what I've spent the last 3 weeks doing, is phoning all these people up saying, oh, I've sampled a bit of your record, is it right? Offering them money, you know, and making sure that they're happy with what I've done. In fact, Blame It on the Bassline, we had to send a copy of it to Michael Jackson because he'd written the original song. And actually had to send him a copy, and a week later we got this phone call saying, oh, Michael loves it, you know, go ahead and release it.
Great, and did you have to pay him?
Yeah, we gave him a songwriting credit for the bassline. We've actually given him half the songwriting money, which is quite generous considering he didn't do anything, you know, he sat there and, you know, like, I borrowed his record. So, yeah, I mean, he gets literally a quarter of the money for it because we used his idea.
So perhaps going into the type of music you've decided to go into isn't going to be particularly profitable? Well,
I don't do it for profit. I'm not too worried about that. I do it for art and things like that. No, I mean, I'm not in this business for money. You know, I'm in it for ego or whatever, or the satisfaction of entertaining people, but not for the cash.
Do you miss the football games though, Norman?
Definitely, yes, definitely. I started playing tennis though. It's very good game, tennis.
But are you not thinking of perhaps of making a video with all sorts of your famous friends in it and having a good old game of footer or anything?
I don't know. Well, the only reason I made this record is to try and get it on top of the pops. So then I'm called a celebrity again. So then I get invited to the celebrity matches. That's the worst thing about the band splitting up. No one invites me to celebrity football matches anymore. And as a result, my footballing's gone downhill. So I'll have to get back in the training. And if you are having a celebrity football match, then don't hesitate in giving me a ring if it's for a good cause.
Any regrets, though, on the splitting up of the House Martins? At the time, you called it a rather messy divorce or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's regrets about how it was done because it was a bit messy. But I mean, that was the problem. You know, everything was getting very messy, and there's no way we could have, you know, done it in a clean way. I mean, my only regrets is sort of missing the rest of the boys, you know, and missing playing live. Because now, obviously, the music I'm doing now, I can't get a band together and troll off in a van around England up and down the M1, which is a bit of a shame because I did enjoy that.
Are you hoping to do that in any shape or form, though?
Yeah, eventually. I think when I've got enough songs, maybe if I did another album and there was enough songs on the album that could be played live, I'd like to get some people together. But for the moment, it's just in terms of money and time, you know, it's not viable to get enough equipment together to do it live.
You did actually say at the time, though, that really House Martins fans were getting something out of it in a funny way because you'd be getting all four of you giving your own output rather than just as a single unit.
Yeah, well, I think the Beautiful South are doing pretty well, filling in for the House Martins shoes. I mean, at the moment they're doing better than the House Martins ever did. So the House Martins fans are well, they're sort of dying breed now, really. But I suppose they'll just become Beautiful South fans or Norman Cook fans or Kylie Minogue fans or something like that. You know, they'll just sort of move on to whatever they like now.
Or all three.
Or all three. Well, I don't know about Beautiful South and Kylie Minogue.
Norman Cook, it's a bit of an unusual name for a DJ or a remixer, don't you think?
Yeah, possibly. Unfortunately, it's the only one I had. No, it wasn't, in fact. Yeah, I could have thought. I don't know. I was sort of scared of falling into some, you know, calling myself DJ Quick Mix or something like that. You know, all my friends know me as Norman Cook, so I thought I'd call myself that. After having a useless name like the House Martins for 3 years, I don't think we could have got any worse than that. It was a terrible name, wasn't it, House Martins?
Okay, Norm. Thank you very much.
Thank you.